Hey, this is the Homestead Garden Series, and well, it's spring. Today I'm planting tomatoes with some companion crops. There's a reason. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome back to Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. I've been actively working in my garden the last couple of days, getting, weeds. I managed to control all the weeds in the last couple of years by adding, mulch. I'm using a rice straw mulch, which doesn't leave seeds. We have it available in our area because fortunately here in California, over the border south of us, they have rice fields. And so we're able to buy bales of rice straw from there, and it's available in my little community that I can use as a mulch in my garden. And you know what? I should have used it years earlier because I hate weeds. So it's working really well. Anyway, I started in the middle of winter working in the greenhouse, planting and germinating tomatoes. Yeah, so I had two varieties of tomatoes, a beefsteak tomato and a smaller tomato that grew. I have selected 4 plants to place here in my garden, 2 of each variety. The rest of the plants I will be gifting away. Now, I did learn from previous experience of growing tomatoes quite successfully there's at least 4 plants that I know of. There's a 5th one, I can't remember what it was. There's 4 plants you can plant with tomatoes that are what they call a companion crop or a sister crop. And what each plant does is it repels insects from the other plant and from the tomato, so you won't get the tomato worms and other things that afflict your tomatoes because of the presence of these plants. One of the main repellents is the tops of carrots. Now, I started my carrots in last fall. They're growing like crazy. So I planted my tomatoes in this bed right here. So those carrots are actively working at repelling the insects that afflict tomatoes. Besides the carrots, I have here 3 other variety of plants that will deter insects. And I've used these in the past. One is marigold. Yeah, marigold's good for a lot of pest repellent in your garden, a lot. Nasturtium is another one. And then basil. I want to tell you something about basil. I got a variety of holy basil and Thai basil I'm going to be planting with these tomatoes today. Along with the marigolds and the nasturtiums. So there's marigolds, nasturtiums, basil, and carrots that will be growing in this garden right here with my tomatoes. Now, those of you who have been following me for quite some time, a few years back I did grow some basil with tomatoes because I knew it was a sister crop for the tomato plant. But oh, yummy. When you plant basil next to tomatoes as the tomatoes are developing, the tomatoes will be infused for some strange reason, maybe by osmosis, but infused with some flavor from the basil variety you're growing. Those tomatoes were the best. So right here between these tomatoes, I'm going to plant some holy basil, just a few seeds. Save those for next year. And then over here on the other side of this tomato, I'm going to plant some Thai basil. Yes, yum. Thai basil right here. And then along here, just right along here, I'm going to plant some marigolds. I'm going to use the whole packet of marigolds in this selection. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. Because I can always thin them out and transplant them in other parts of the garden later. And then on this part of the garden, I'm going to go ahead and plant the nasturtiums. And I'm leaving some space open because I can plant other plants in here. I'm going to be planting another crop of carrots in here. So we're going to plant the nasturtiums right in here. Now these nasturtiums, they're huge seeds. There's no confusing the nasturtiums. So we're just going to plop those along here. And of course, we can thin those out later. And of course, water it in and make sure the ground is good and saturated for good germination. Yes, you want that germination. And of course, there's the rice straw mulching that I can spread a thin layer. Doesn't have to be pretty thick, just enough to maintain the moisture and control the weeds. And I use this stuff for bedding for my livestock also. It's epic because it doesn't have the seeds of weeds like a grass hay does. That stuff is miserable. So the rice straw is perfect for a source of mulching. There's a variety of mulches you can use. You can use some wood shavings. You can use plastic, newspaper. There's other things. Newspaper's safe these days because the ink is a soy-based ink. It's biodegradable and it's safe. Cardboard, I don't recommend using cardboard anywhere because the glues in the cardboard, yeah, think about that. But I found straw, rice straw in my area. Unfortunately, not every area has that available, but I got it. And right here, I want to point out, right here next to the trellis, I planted cucumbers to come up with the trellis. And I planted some other flowers in here and also at the end of the other end of the garden. So this garden bed, this is one bed. It's going to be a bloomin' miracle later. Stay tuned for that. I will definitely show it off. Well, that's one garden bed down. 5 to go. I have total 6. And I'm trying something new to me in coming next month. But I got to prep it in the greenhouse first. So we'll visit that in a future episode. You can do that by subscribing and then clicking that bell icon that alerts you to new videos as I do upload them. And share these videos on my social media platforms or on your social media platforms. Share them with your friends. I'm still learning gardening, homesteading. I've been doing this for 10 years here, but I've been doing it since I've been gardening since I was 9, I think. Yeah, my first garden I ever created was a little strip about the size of one of these raised beds. And I remember I planted carrots, I planted corn, I planted radish, and that's the only three things I remember planting. I'm sure I planted other stuff in there, but that was when I grew up over in Brookings, Oregon. Yeah. Hey, they have trees over there that grow, what is it, coconuts? Or, yeah, is it coconuts? Anyway, they have some kind of exotic trees that grow over there. Banana trees. It's called the banana belt of Oregon because the climate is so mild. Well, that said, I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. This is Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. We're a homestead tucked in the Cascade Ranges of the Pacific Northwest. Growing in our region is a little bit challenging. Growing anywhere in Oregon, it's a little bit challenging because we have what they call microclimates with the mountaintops and the valleys, yeah, and deserts and rainforests. Yeah, you have to look specifically for your spot in geography and just live and observe nature as you live there for a couple years to see what your successes are. And don't repeat your failures. That's not a wise thing to do. Anyway, we'll see you guys in my next adventure. Bye-bye now.